How big an impediment is corruption in improving the competitiveness of?
It's a huge one. It's a huge impediment, and it has to be eradicated no matter what. And what I want to say is that no country is immune to this problem. You know, sometimes we say, you know, I'm coming from a country where we like to say, oh, no corruption. The number one in the transparency index, I think, is Denmark. They said, you know, we are perfect. Every year we find something. So the real thing is, if you look, you find. So you have to acknowledge this is a problem. That's the first thing. You know it is happening, this is human nature, and you have to correct it, and you need to have the courage to address it. Even if you feel you are very good, like my country, you need to address it. And I think this is really one of the challenge. I know that in your country it has been a very big issue. It is trying to be corrected, and I think it's important not only for you in Thailand, but also to restore the confidence in the system for the foreign companies, because they hate that.
Mm-hmm. Income inequality is now a big issue in many countries. So for countries that are considered competitive, are they more equipped to deal with this issue?
They have indeed a system of retransferring wealth from the rich to the poor one as much as possible through taxation, through various systems in the government. I think the problem is not that you have wealthy people or not. I think it's good to have wealthy people because the younger generation will work hard if they know they can become one day a Google, a Facebook. I mean, let's face it, this is what they want. They want to be a success story very quickly. And I think a country should allow people to become rich. There is no problem. What it should not allow is that the rich people then become a class in itself. You know, I'm rich, my son, my daughter are rich, etc., and then they don't do anything. They don't innovate, they just lie like that. This is very bad. So you need this possibility of what we call the social lift. You know, people go into the lift and they can raise and they can become wealthy. If you look at the United States of America, it's quite striking. The rich people in the US a generation ago were called Rockefeller, they were called the Morgan, the Ford and all this. They've all disappeared. The rich people today are called Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Larry Brin, Zuckerberg. It's different names. And I think this is what is very good, is when it changes very often. Schumpeter, the economist, used to say, the rich class should be like a luxury hotel. Always full, but not with the same people.
If a government is a democratic government or a communist government, like in China, does it affect the competitiveness of that country?
Yes, although we have to be careful. I think what people want is a sense of social justice. They want to be respected. And there are many governments which have been very successful and which were not democracies. I mean, Singapore, has been a very top-down government. Dubai is one like that. We can say probably that Mr. Putin is trying that also in Russia. So there are some possibilities where for a transition time, maybe a country will say we are going to look at different things. But people want to have their rights being respected. You know, they want to be able to have a family, to raise this family in security. They want to be able to have a bit of money and to keep it. They want to have a sense of ownership of a land or something. So, you know, they need to have justice because this is what it is all about. People want justice. And there are many ways in order to have this justice implemented. And I think sometimes we in the West, we say it's only democracy, but maybe there are other ways. For us, this is our system, but you know, we have to be wise enough to recognize that in China, for example, they have adopted another system which was very successful.
What would be your advice to countries that want to improve their competitiveness?
The first thing that I would say is every country has its own recipe and its own way. There is not one way. I always say it's a bit like if you are making a salad. You know a good salad? You take a bowl, and then you put the best ingredient. You know, the best tomato, the best salad, etc. Country, the same thing. You take the best education, the best infrastructure, the best finance, the best government. But in the same way as a salad, once you have everything in, you don't have a salad. There is something missing. Missing is a dressing, right?
Right.
When you have a dressing, you have a salad. You may have noticed every dressing as a national name, French dressing, Italian dressing, Caribbean. For competitiveness, this is the same. The dressing is a national value system. It's your own value system that will keep things together and that will make the country competitive. So Thailand will have its own recipe for competitiveness. You will have to fight to get the best infrastructure, the best enterprise, the best legislation, but at the end of the day, it's what you want as a country, it's your value system, it's yourself. So you will have to discover what is your own recipe, your own national dressing.
มีปัจจัยหลากหลายมากเลยนะคะที่จะส่งผลต่อขีดความสามารถในการแข่งขันของแต่ละประเทศที่สำคัญเลยก็คือว่าแต่ละประเทศนั้นจะต้องค้นหาเอกลักษณ์ของตัวเองให้เจอค่ะไทยเองมีศักยภาพมากแต่ก็ต้องพัฒนาขีดความสามารถในการแข่งขันดึงเอาศักยภาพเหล่านั้นให้มาใช้ให้เกิดประโยชน์ให้ได้นะคะเพื่อที่จะรองรับโอกาสใหม่ๆโอกาสดีๆที่จะมีเข้ามาในอนาคตค่ะพบกันใหม่สัปดาห์หน้าวันนี้สวัสดีค่ะ